Hello everyone and welcome to this video. So yeah, I'm actually quite thrilled to be filming like this video today because I really wasn't expecting like to go to like this concert like at all. Like it's like Paul McCartney live at like Glasgow like only a few days ago, like on like the 14th of December. So yeah, like I was really not expecting that to go to like this concert. Basically like in this video I'll just go over like how like I managed like to get a ticket, like I'll like look at like the set list like the program like which I got, and I generally just like review like the concert. So yeah, tickets for this I believe went on sale like in like the summer like at some point, and like I must say like try and like get like tickets like when like they were like announced, like whoever, they pretty much all sold out instantly, because unlike a lot of artists today, like you do like sort of like ID checks, like you'd either need to take like ID like or have like the same cards like you used to purchase like the tickets. Like McCartney's like team like was like doing like none of that, like so pretty much like all the tickets like ended up like on like resale sites like almost like immediately, like which was like really like annoying, and like I wasn't really like prepared to pay like say like up to like 10 times like sort of like the face value, like I mean, because I've already like seen like McCartney like twice in concert. Like it's only like if it was only really like if I could get like brilliant seats like for face value that like I would have like really probably like got a ticket. So I kind of like let it go, and like when it came to like concert day, like I realized that I had like nothing else on, like uni was like finished now, like I've got nothing to do for that, I wasn't working that day, like so I thought like rather than like sit about like the house, like I'll maybe try and like chance my luck, like see like if like I can maybe like meet him like before the show, like maybe like just like maybe just like see like his like car like go into like the venue, like if I'm lucky, because it's certainly not like every day like McCartney like plays like in Scotland. Like the last time like was in 2010 like at like Hampden Park, like which like I was like lucky enough to go and see him like there, like so like that was like the last time, like some 8 years ago. So I arrived like into Glasgow like out like the venue like at about 1:30ish, and like it is like pretty dead. Like there's a few like sort of like people like hanging about, like I think like they were like going to like the sound check, like because I think McCartney lets like a few people like into like the sound check, like if like they're willing to pay like a wee like hefty like sum. I think it's about £600 for like the sound check like package or something, like so like there was a few people like waiting like about for that, and like I just so happened like to notice like there was like a wee like Japanese lady, like slightly like older lady, like was trying to take a selfie like with like this sort of poster what they had like set up. Like she was sort of like struggling like a bit, like so like I went over like just to see like if like she wanted like me to take like a photo, like so like I did, and like we got talking like afterwards, and like I said that like I didn't like have a ticket like for like the show, so she says that her friend unfortunately couldn't make it, so she's got this spare ticket, right, right, so like and like she wanted like to sell it to like a sort of like a proper fan, like rather than like sort of like someone like who's just gonna sell it like for like twice the money. So she pulls out like this ticket here, and you know, like I see it, and that like I sort of make sure like it's like a proper like ticket like and everything, and like you know like then like it was like too good like to like resist, and like I had to like buy it like from her, like so like it was this one in face value like was 125 there, like you see, so like she offered me for like 100, like which I took, but like if I was to actually like have bought this like on like the day like they went out, like it would have cost me like £141, like you see there. So I definitely got a really good deal, like good deal like with like the tickets. And then furthermore, like as well, because he wasn't doing like these ID checks, like although like a name like is actually like printed there, like they weren't checking like people's like ID like or anything like before they went in, so like I had like no trouble like using this. So yeah, like like big thank you like to like the person like I managed like to get the ticket from. It really was like just luck. So after like I got my ticket, like I went round at the back off the Hydro, like where like his like car like would like sort of like drive in, and like I thought that like there would have been like a little bit like off like a crowd like gathering, like as it turned out like there was only one like other guy like at that point, like I think his name was Jamie, and like he'd be waiting like a good like few hours like apparently like for like him to come. So like we were waiting like the hours like was sort of like passing by, like I must have like I got around the back at about 2ish, about 2:30, like I would say. Like McCartney like didn't like turn up like until about 4:30, like he was like running like quite late. Like by that point like a bigger crowd like had like gathered, and that like they put like a wee fence up, so like really like there was no chance that like he would like stop like and like sign like anything. So the only thing like I got from that like was like a like little bit like of footage like of him like arriving, like a wee like 5-minute clip, like, but to be honest with you, like that's probably like the closest like I'll ever get like to sort of meeting him, like just seeing him like as like the car went by. Like it was like quite a thrill, so like I got a wee video of that.
Paul! Hey! Paul!
So yeah, and then the concert like was fast approaching. Like I decided that I would look at like the merch stall. Like I thought about like getting like a t-shirt like or something like, but like those were all about like 30 quid. Like so in the end, like I decided just to get the programme, which was £25, which you think is quite a lot, but this is probably one of the best best tour programmes like I've like ever like come across, to be honest with you. Like I'm so glad like I bought it now. It's a McCartney Freshen Up. Just look how thick it is, and there's so much. Like there's the back of it there as well. Really cool design to it. There's so much like information in here. You get a whole sort of like interview with Paul like about like the upcoming tour like which is on. There's this whole thing about Egypt Station, like goes track by track like through like his new album, which is great. Get more information about Egypt Station there. Then you get like this really cool sort of like A to Z like off McCartney here, like just like a whole host of like different like things, like every sort of every bit of like information like you could possibly want to know about Paul like in here. So this is just fantastic, full of photos, a lot of which I've not seen before. So yeah, really great stuff here. And like sort of like the waiting like around like for like the concert like just went by like so quickly, like quickly like because I was reading this like actually I struggled like to get through it all like before like the show, and there's a bit about like the recent like the new archive editions like which are coming out, a bit about like the previous releases as well as like the new ones like which have just been released as well, Wildlife and Red Rose Speedway there. So yeah, brilliant tour programme here, definitely like the best one like which I've got, plus all like the sort of credits there. So this was certainly well worth like the money. So the actual seat like for like the show, like it was quite a good seat, like I have to say. Like it was in like the second level though, but it was certainly like the closest like I've ever been like at like a Paul McCartney show. Like really just like the nature like off like sort of like the Hydro, like it's sort of like you're like quite you are like quite close like compared like to like other arenas like such as like the Echo like in like Liverpool. So yeah, like I was quite pleased with that. The show, the doors opened said at 6:30, like it came out about 8:15. Like didn't like have like a support act. Like the only thing like they had a DJ like who like was sort of playing like sort of like remixes like off like some of like his songs, as well as like sort of like a slideshow sort of thing, like which I suppose like was very good. Like it sort of like built like the hype, like rather than like sitting through like some like unrelated like support acts. Like this sort of like really like built like the hype well like for like McCartney. So I've now just got a bit of footage like from like the show. Like I was quite lucky to get like this footage like actually, because standing out for like all that time like in like the cold, like my phone battery like somehow like went down like so much. Like it was sitting like on about 1 or 2% like for like most like off like the day, like whether however somehow like it like managed like to survive like right through the concert. Like I got like quite a bit like of video like off it, like which I will just like include the now.
wondered about the time that we met, about the time that we met. What she would say that we were playing hard to get. We didn't understand a thing, but we could always sing. Just wanna know how you feel. Wanna love you so proud of me. To make me wanna know how you feel. I just wanna you're asking me will my love grow? It may show, but I don't know. I don't know.
That's just my footage like from the concert. I'll just go over like his like set list, like which like he performs. Like he's been sticking pretty much mostly like to this set list like throughout like this tour, and like tour like I like it's a little bit similar like to like the one like which I seen like in 2015. They're all like a few like different songs. So he opened with A Hard Day's Night, Beatles classic. They've done the Junior's Farm, Can't Buy Me Love, Letting Go, which was great to hear, like sort of like a wings track for Venus and Mars there. Then done a song Who Cares from Egypt Station, Got to Get You Into My Life, Beatles track, Come On To Me, which was one of his singles like from Egypt Station. Like the crowd like seemed like really like into that one. Then done Let Me Know It like as usual, and then done I've Got a Feeling, Let Him In, which was great to hear. Like you don't hear like he doesn't do that one like very often now. Then done My Valentine from Kisses on the Bottom. They said that like Nancy like was in like the audience like his wife, like which was quite nice. Although like that was one like which a lot of people like seem to be like getting up, like that's sort of like the toilet song, like to be honest with you, like in like a set list now. Then he done the Wings song 1985, which I love that one. Like I'm so glad that he's still playing that one live. It just goes down like an absolute treat. Like, I think he's done that one like at every single show like which I've seen him at, and like it doesn't get old that one. that song. It's absolutely fantastic. Then done Maybe I'm Amazed, and like I must say, like sort of recently, like his vocals, like they can struggle like with that song. Like that's a song like which is very, very challenging like to sing. Like he done like a very like admirable sort of like performance like of it. Like whoever, like I think like it's maybe time like to give that song like a rest. Then done Beatles song We Can Work It Out, which was absolutely great. Then done and then this was sort of like the acoustic section like off like the show. So like all like the band that sort of came to like the front like off like the stage. Like Abe like got like a wee like sort of like mini drum kit like set up, and that like so like this became like quite like a sort of like intimate part like off the show. They done a song which was originally, which Paul said like was like the first song that which like they like recorded like when like started like the Quarrymen, a song called like In Spite of All the Danger, like which like you don't really like need that one like in like the set list. Like it was maybe nice to do that one like say like in like Liverpool, like, but it's certainly not like essential. Then done the Beatles song From Me to You, which I wasn't really like expecting that one. Like that was like a nice surprise. Then done Dance Tonight, which I'm very glad that like he has like brought that one like back out like into like his set list like from like 2007's Memory Almost Full album. That one the crowd seemed to really, really love that one. Then done Love Me Do, classic Beatles song, and then he was solo, and then like all the band that went off the stage like, for like Blackbirds, like when he went up like on this sort of riser thing, and like then he done Here Today as a tribute like to John Lennon. Then when he's back on the piano, done a Queenie Eye from New. I'm quite glad that like he's kept a song from New like in his set list, as well as then done Lady Madonna, which is always great. Eleanor Rigby, another song from Egypt Station for You, which I maybe would have preferred like one of like the other like Egypt Station tracks like in like its place, like, but like never mind. Then done Being for the Benefit of Mr. Kite, which again like is a sadly odd one. It wasn't one which like Paul wrote. Like again, maybe thinking something else could maybe take the place of that one, but certainly like the light show like in that one's like very like spectacular, like all like the sort of like the lasers like going on in it. Like it's quite it's quite a good like live song, that I think. And then done Something, as always, like a tribute like to like George Harrison, like that one like is always like very like affecting like when he does that song. And then we're into like sort of like the last run like off like the set list on Obla Dee Obla Da, Band on the Run, back in the USSR, then moved to the piano for Let It Be, Live and Let Die, and then the main set finished with Hey Jude like as usual. So then for the encore, like he has cut down his set list like a little bit like since like the last time like I seen him. Like he's only doing like the one like encore now. So like it started out with Birthday, like the Beatles track like from the White Album, then done a nice surprise this one, like Wonderful Christmas Time, like which he doesn't play this one like very often, of course, because it's like a Christmas song, of course. Like but like for this one, like they had like a wee choir, like I believe like like some children like from like a school like in like Paisley like came on like and like sang like so like the choral bits like off like that one, like which was like really nice. Then done the Sgt. Pepper's reprise and Helter Skelter, and then like moved to like the piano like for like the finale, like the Abbey Road medley, Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, and the end like rounded off the night. So yeah, overall he was on stage for I think just under like 3 hours. Like he went on like at about I think about 8:15, went off at about 11ish. So yeah, like 39 songs, like absolutely fantastic performance, really. Like I mean, like just like the fact that he's like 76, but he's still got like so much like energy. Like he still gives it like his absolute all like every night, like which I think it's something to be like admired. There were also quite a few sort of like surprise like omissions like from like the set list. Like I would say like he's not been doing Yesterday like on like this tour, like which I think he probably like could do, like even in like the slot where like Blackbirds and like Here Today like are in, like I think like would work like well like in like that slot. Like that's quite a surprise that he's not doing that one. And like also like for Scotland like as well, like we didn't get like Mull Kintyre, like which like for me that was like the highlight like off like his like Hampden Park show. For this song, like he like for this show, like he like overlooked like that song, like which I think was a bit like off like a missed like opportunity because people like forget like how like popular and like how big like that song like actually was like back in like the late 70s. But yeah, it was as usual an absolutely fantastic show. Like I mean, I have been lucky enough to I've gone to many concerts like throughout like this year. Like however, for me, there's nothing quite like the magic like off like a McCartney show. I think it's to do with not only like the songs, but also like his sort of connection like he tries to make like with like the audience. Like there's a lot of chat, like a lot of stories, like even like if like people like me, like you've like maybe seen like a lot of like his live DVDs, like I've actually been to like a few shows, stories and that, like all like ones like which like we have sort of like heard before, like but you know he still makes a great sort of like effort like to like interact like with like the audience. audience. So yeah, like if you not had a chance to see Paul McCartney, like I would definitely like recommend it. Like I mean, I'm not sure whether this will be like his last tour. Like he's not said like if it like definitely will be. Like I mean, I can't see him like going on for like too much longer. Like but like then again, I mean like he was still on like absolutely like fine for like I mean his voice like was like pretty good like for like what it is like today. He's like still like sort of doing like these sort of like almost like 3-hour like set lists. Like it's really like it's like quite remarkable. So yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this this look at like Paul McCartney's Freshen Up tour like from Glasgow 2018. Hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time for the next video.